Let me tell you something that should genuinely have every Blue Jays fan paying attention right now. Eloy Jiménez is down in Triple-A, putting up numbers that are impossible to ignore. The offense at the major league level has been genuinely painful to watch, and there is a decision coming that this front office is going to have to make whether they want to or not. And on top of all of that, Trey Savage just completed a rehab start, and the news coming out of it is exactly what this rotation needed to hear. There is a lot happening with this team right now, and none of it is small. So let's get into every single piece of it. Start with Eloy Jiménez, because this conversation has been building for weeks, and it's reached a point where you can't dismiss it anymore. In his first 7 games with Buffalo, he was hitting .375 with a home run, 5 RBIs, and a .971 OPS. Then he went 9 for 24 the following week with another home run, earned Triple-A Player of the Week honors, and posted a .970 OPS over that stretch. This is not a guy who is warming up slowly and hoping to find his footing. This is a guy who came into the season with something to prove and has been proving it every single day he steps on that field. The question everyone keeps asking is, who do you send down if you call up Jimenez? And that's the right question. You cannot send down Davis Schneider. He's been really solid, his approach at the plate looks clean, and he's one of the few guys in that lineup right now giving you consistent at-bats. You're not touching him. JAYS Sanchez should be playing every single day without question. He is arguably the best hitter on this team right now, and there was a stretch early in the season where he wasn't getting enough at-bats because of how crowded the outfield was, which was a problem the coaching staff needed to address, and needed to address quickly. Now he's in there regularly, and you can see what he does when he gets consistent reps. The guy is locked in. So the math starts pointing in one direction when you look at it honestly. Nathan Lucas. I'm not saying it's happening tomorrow. I'm not saying it needs to happen this week. But if Lucas continues to look the way he's been looking and Jimenez continues to do what he's been doing in Triple-A, at some point that decision makes itself. And when it does, you're adding a right-handed bat who should feast against left-handed pitching, which is exactly the kind of lineup balance this team has been missing. Tyler Fitzgerald is supposed to be filling that role as the lefty masher off the bench, but if you have him, you have to actually use him. You cannot let a guy whose entire value is destroying left-handed pitching sit on the bench while a lefty is on the mound. Carlos Mendoza is also worth mentioning because he's been impressive down in Buffalo as well, and the organization has a genuine surplus of talent at Triple-A right now. That's a good problem to have, genuinely, but it creates real decisions that need real answers sooner rather than later. Now, let's shift to Trey Savage, because this is the news that should have every Blue Jays fan breathing a little easier today. He completed his rehab start and went 2 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 52 pitches. The results weren't perfect, 4 runs allowed, all of them coming in that first inning. But here is what actually matters, and here is why this is genuinely good news. His velocity held. His spin rate was where it needed to be. His command settled in after that rough first inning, and he looked like himself. When you are monitoring a pitcher coming back from injury, you are not watching the box score. You are watching the arm. You are watching whether the stuff is there, whether the body is responding, whether there are any signs of hesitation or discomfort. And by every account, Savage passed that test. If they follow the same progression pattern they've been using with their other returning pitchers, his next start could come at around 75 pitches. Do the math on that. If the next outing goes smoothly, you are realistically looking at Trey Savage back in a Blue Jays uniform within the next week to 2 weeks. And when you start stacking that on top of the other guys who are working their way back, Kikuchi, Berrios, Bieber, this rotation starts looking like something completely different from what it is right now. The reinforcements are coming. They are genuinely actually coming. You just have to survive long enough to let them arrive. And speaking of surviving, Patrick Corbin is starting tonight against the Minnesota Twins. Now, I know Corbin gets a bad reputation, and a lot of it is deserved given the years he struggled after signing that massive contract. But let's be honest about what he is right now, and what the Blue Jays need from him. He had a genuinely good year last year. His minor league start produced 9 strikeouts. Max Scherzer called him a sled dog, a guy who does what he's told and just pulls the sled. And right now, pulling the sled is exactly what this team needs. If Corbin goes out there tonight and gives you 5 innings and 3 earned runs or fewer, that is a win for this rotation. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. Save the bullpen. Eat innings. Keep this team in the game and let the offense do the rest. Because here's the thing about this offensive group, they are not as bad as they have looked. I genuinely believe that. The talent is in that lineup. Vladdy is too good. Sanchez is too locked in right now. Schneider is playing with real confidence. The pieces are there, and the Twins are a team this Blue Jays roster should be competitive against. If you can win this series, if you can come out of this week with some momentum heading into the stretch where your pitching staff starts getting healthy again, the entire vibe around this team shifts. The Orioles, the Rays, the Blue Jays, everyone is hovering in the same range, and there is everything to play for. Josh Fleming and Austin Voth have both cleared waivers and are now free agents. The roster is being actively managed and moved, and there are decisions being made every single day. This front office is not standing still. Whether every decision has been the right one is a separate conversation, but they are engaged and they are working, and the Eloy Jiménez conversation is one that is only going to get louder as the weeks go on. The off day yesterday felt brutal. I don't know how you guys handled it, but daily baseball has me completely spoiled, and one day without a game feels like a week. But we're back tonight, and this team has a real chance to go out and take care of business against a team they should beat. Trey Savage is healthy. The rotation help is coming. Jimenez is waiting in Buffalo. Things are moving in the right direction even if the standings don't fully show it yet. Drop in the comments. Is it time to call up Eloy Jiménez right now, or do you let it play out a little longer? And how excited are you about the Trey Savage news? Let me know. I'll see you in the next one.